So have you ever had the problem where you want to play golf, but you've got no one to play with? It's like, what do I do? Do I play by myself? Well, we got a solution for you today, and that is with Nick Conrad, who is the founder and general manager of Twilight Golf Association. Nick and I had a conversation on the Mod Golf podcast on our long form audio. Great conversation there, but gonna have Nick come back on because we talked about the origin story, how we got going, the aha moment, all those good things. But now we're going to talk about the future, what they're doing now, and where they're going with Twilight Golf, because I think they're really propelled to do some pretty awesome things here. So hey, to start off, I'm gonna bring him on. There he is. Nick, good to see you again. How's it going?
Great. Thank you, Colin. I really appreciate you having me on.
Absolutely, absolutely. So hey, we talked about, as I just mentioned, the origin story of Twilight Golf 5 or 6 years ago. So I do encourage our viewers to become listeners. So down below and in the notes there, we do have a link for our podcast episode there. So why don't we start with this? Why don't you refresh us and let our viewers know here, what is Twilight Golf Association? So give us the elevator pitch here as quickly as you can.
Sure. Twilight Golf Association is a golf association that organizes recreational leagues and outings for adults of all ages and skill levels. Primarily, our focus is on organizing weeknight leagues and outings. So that's part of the Twilight in the name. It's a time of day that for most people is convenient. It's after work. It's a time of day that's affordable. And it's also a weekly time that's most easy for people to regularly play golf as opposed to weekends and other times of in your schedule that often get colluded with family and other personal commitments. So our golf association is all about organizing weeknight recreational leagues, very much in the same spirit of other adult recreational sports, creating community through teams and short run seasons where you can engage and play with in a structured format with the same team each week as part of our philosophy. We can really foster relationships with people on the golf course, whether you're, as you mentioned, joining by yourself, or if you have a regular group that you like to play with, we can help organize a tee time and a structure for you.
Yeah, love this. And you use the word community there. You're authentically creating that, and through the teams, the fact you're playing with the same team all season long there, you just start to build camaraderie, and you just have some fun while you're doing that, no matter what your skill level is. So I want to dig into this a little more here, Nick. So tell us now that you're into year five, year six, about the kind of the demographics that you have. I know that you really make an effort to appeal to women, and we know the pain points there about it being intimidating and not made feel welcome. So how do you go about with the messaging to then, we want to call it marketing, or just to bring more women on to encourage them? So tell us about that, what you do as far as that diversity piece. So everybody, to be blunt about it, isn't a couple of white guys like you and I. How do you encourage that diversity piece, more women, people of color? And yeah, tell us a little bit about that piece and what you're doing there to grow the community with Twilight Golf Association.
Sure. From the very onset of when the Golf Association began, that was a question of um, that took very seriously and thinking of, well, the first impression that someone's going to have when they come to our website, which is where people find out about leagues that are happening near them. That was something I was very conscious of, is that when you come to this website, what are you going to see is going to make you feel immediately of, do I belong, or is this for me or not? Because I often think that's how people unconsciously think when they go to a site. Is this product something that I would do, or is this service something for me? And so if you go to our website, there's an image on our homepage, which has been there for going on 5 years now, that it was very important to me. There was someone that created that for us. And it's a cartoon of a golf course and people playing on it. And the entire purpose of that was to be able to tell anyone that came to this landing page that it's not a picture. You're going to see, the focus is on golf. You're not going to have to feel like there's a picture of a person that you have to identify with. And so that was the reason behind why our website even looks the way it does, is that we truly wanted to create a golf association that um, was the one catch-all type of group that you can be, um, a beginner, a skilled player, any age, any gender. And I think that's the beauty of our leagues is that they look very different everywhere you go because they're truly a reflection of the community that they're in. We have leagues where there's recent college graduates competing against senior citizens. We have leagues that are, very women driven because that's who are looking for an open group to play with. We have other leagues that are mostly men because that's who happens to be frequenting the golf course. So I would say we are more, which I'm proud that we've been able to create this, is that we are a reflection of the golf courses community. It's not like we're pulling in anybody from, that wouldn't otherwise frequent the golf course, but we are truly, because of our openness, a reflection of what that community is.
Well, this is interesting. This is one thing I really didn't think about from our previous conversation. So myself, if I, unfortunately, I'm in Canada, so I can't join Twilight Golf Association quite yet, but we'll talk about the future in a minute. But let's say I was in the US, and not only do I want to play, but let's say, because I'm an organizational type of guy and put things together and I've done a lot of events, let's say I want to create my own league or start a league. Is that an option then? Tell us about that a little bit, because I think that's what I took away from what you just said there, that you've made this completely democratic in the sense that you can create your own league, whatever that you want to position that within your where you physically live and the kind of the demographic or maybe even the culture or the kind of the alignment that you want. So is that something that that individuals can do?
So occasionally we'll get recommendations of golf courses that people want to play at, but for the most part, it's our team reaching out to golf courses, trying to secure tee times to be able to have this league exist. So once we have the opportunity to host a league at a golf course, then it's a matter of getting the message out that here's a league that, again, going back to the website, the cartoon picture that's on our homepage, that is you should feel a part of it because it's open to anyone. That's ultimately what we put out there, and then as people find out about the league and how simple it is, which is what we hope they quickly realize that this is a pretty much no frills. I get to play my own ball for 9 holes, post a score. I have a regular tee time group that if that's what they're looking for, that's what we are being organized.
Gotcha. So uh following up on our breakfast conversation we had in person almost a year ago at the PGA show in Orlando, you shared with me some testimonials, some feedback you've had, or some great stories. So why don't you share with us a couple of stories that put a smile on your face? Because this really is about the people. It's about community and it's about the people. Yeah, why don't you share a story or two of maybe someone that was maybe not so sure about Twilight Golf or even never been in a league before, or they were worried about the competitiveness. Any feedback you've got or talking to people or through an email or just through a social media post, something that puts a smile on your face of stories that you have with the success of Twilight Golf Association.
Yeah, I think what's the most rewarding is seeing all the different stories that come across, and that's not there's not just one common theme of we are serving these types of folks, or we are really it's that we're truly everything from we're helping people who they get to play with their family once a week, that they know that it's going to be mother, son, father, brother, sister out on the course together. That's a great feeling knowing that you're helping parents and their older children now get to see each other more often. So we feel that feels meaningful. I also feel like it's always the most rewarding when you see someone who never, they join not knowing anybody, and then they re-sign up the next season asking to be on a team with somebody that you randomly paired them with. And it's for me, I mean, that's when we talk about leagues, giving people purpose to play. That is the biggest reflection of what we're doing is meaningful. Is that someone not only enjoyed their experience, they came back and they want to play with that group that otherwise they never would have played with again. So I love the stories of please put me on the team again with those players because that really means that we made the connection of not just golf but community.
I love that, just making connections in an authentic way there. It's got to make you feel great. So let's talk about the future a little bit. We did mention on the audio podcast that you became part of the Golf Genius team. You were acquired a year or so ago by them. So you're working with Golf Genius now, and that's helping to propel you forward. So now having uh, the access to their amazing partnerships that they have across, North America and beyond, I understand you're in the US right now, 300 courses and growing through the organization. What are the future plans? What can you share with us? Are you going to be coming to Canada here? I think people would love it up here. Are you looking to expand into the UK or maybe Australia? So what can you share with us as being the, and I'm not going to hold you to this, but what do you see as the 2 to 5 year vision for Twilight Golf Association?
Yeah, it's important to have a vision in the first place too, because it's impossible to win like an indefinable race. So I think for us right now is we're trying to define what success is and what um, our focus is first and foremost on let's create something people want to do. We can't do any of those things that you just mentioned if we're not creating something that's people want to do, which is how can I play golf in a social way that's a good value, it's a good deal, and so that's at the forefront of every whether right now it's the winter that we're talking going into the next spring and summer season is let's continue to create and innovate and think about how we can create something that people want to be a part of. And from the very start, the feeling of this works in my community has driven the mission statement, which is anywhere where there's a public golf community, there should be access to open leagues where anyone can play. And so, if this sport is going to continue to grow, and if this sport is going to continue to give people entry points to play, every public golf community should have access to a league. Which again, leagues give golfers purpose to play. And so that's our mission is ultimately how can we continue to find and make an impact on every public golf community that's available out there. And how we get there, how fast we get there, isn't nearly as important as continuing to make sure that we're creating something people want to be a part of. And in a lot of ways, I think we're doing the work that the USGA and some of these other golf organizations that they really wish they could do. There's organized golf for the very top 1% of players across the world, which there should be, right? That's what's exciting, and we all aspire and I love to watch them play. And I'd like to think of what we're doing as serving the other 99% of people who want that same experience of being part of a group where there's scoring and there's structure and there's a way to track your progress. But it takes many hands and a large team of people that are all pulling the rope in the same direction to be able to grow in the ways that you mentioned. If we're trying to go to other countries or other states, you need to get at the next point really is just finding a team of people who are willing to do the work to do that.
Gotcha. So it sounds like expansion plans are in your future as you continue to enhance the model, if you will, of what you're offering, the benefits and what people are loving. And we did talk about that on the podcast, just as far as where you started, where you are now, and how you got there. And that conversation was really, really compelling. So I really encourage our viewers to go back and give that a listen. So hey, as we finish up here, why don't you tell us a little more about Golf Genius? And you did talk about your relationship and how that all came together there. But people don't know who Golf Genius is, because that is more of a business to business play where you're more of a business to consumer, with your members being the ones that are driving revenue for you. So why don't you let our viewers know what Golf Genius software is?
Sure. Golf Genius Software is the largest tournament management software company in the world. And over the last 2, 3 years or so, it's quickly growing in other ecosystems of golf. Golf Genius is now taking a vested interest in coaching products and teaching tools for golf professionals, and they took an interest in us as well a little over a year ago when we joined as part of their team. And we were ultimately users of Golf Genius. We were one of over 10,000 customers that were using the product. And for Twilight Golf Genius was a necessary advancement for us. If we wanted to continue to grow golf communities, we needed a solution that would enable us to organize more leagues, to give a central platform for people to post scores and organize tee sheets and communicate with golf courses ultimately of what our league was. And so it was a natural fit that we became a customer. And then after a few years of being a customer, it became a partnership and ultimately a merger that we are now fully a part of the staff. And it's awesome to for myself and our team that Golf Genius is, I think one of the best parts of it is it's a company that's employs the second most PGA professionals in the world. So it's given us an opportunity as a team of regular folk who actually never worked in green grass golf to now have the expertise and be able to interact with golf professionals who can help us grow and continue to identify with our host courses, which is ultimately, you know, equally, if not more important component of this business. As you mentioned, we are a B2C business where we're membership based and we have to be very conscious of players and making them happy. But on the other side of it, our interaction and our experience with golf courses has to be just as, if not more, important to us. Because if we don't have places people to play, and if we're not good hosts or good guests of their courses, then if that relationship isn't there, then the entire golf association isn't there. So I would say Golf Genius has been most helpful in us continue to learn about the industry um, and give us some of the expertise and continue to listen to our needs as a customer still to help advance the tools they give us, the software. This team is relentless in upgrading I mean, it's several times a year that, I think Chris was on the podcast a few months ago, Chris Kalmar, the co-CEO, about how innovation and listening is the key to Golf Genius's success. And it's true. Again, as a former customer and as someone that's using the product so much right now, um, the updates and how much listening is going on behind the scenes is what's made this merger such a great, such a privilege to be a part of the team.
There you go. There you go. So as we finish up here for our viewers, if they're living in the US and they're thinking, you know what, I want to play more golf. My golf friends right now, they're not great. I got lame golf friends. I need to find a community. Let them know. How can they learn more and find out and perhaps join a league for 2023 with Twilight Golf Association?
Sure. Our website is a directory. So if you go to www.twilightgolfassociation.com, you'll find a full directory season by season of courses in your area. So for next year, we have a winter, spring, summer, and fall schedule that'll be released here over the next several weeks. And so once you find a course near you that's hosting your league, you can join, as we mentioned earlier, as a single, as a team. And part of our mission is helping bring together those groups all together in one unified league. So come as you are, and we'll organize a season for you. Most seasons are also short run. They're 9, sometimes 7 week seasons. So something very digestible for the busy working person. You're not committing to a full year of golf. You're committing to a season, and so we really think that that's one of the ways to continue to engage players is meet them where they are, and when their schedules have availability, offer multiple seasons and offer multiple times to play. So check out our website. There's probably something near you if you heard about it from a course near you, and we'll hope to see you on the course.
There we go. I love the terms you're using to define the value you offer people between connectivity, engagement, and community. All those things, they all resonate with me. So one last thing, where are you active or most active on social media? What's one platform people can go have a look to hear some stories from some of your members?
Sure. Facebook and Instagram is at Twilight Golf Association, and that's primarily where we're at.
All right. So Nick, Conrad, it's been an amazing conversation. Loving what you're doing with Twilight Golf, and looking forward to hopefully having an omelet together over breakfast at Denny's in Orlando in a couple months' time and see you in person. So hey, thanks for joining me today on the Mod Golf YouTube channel.
Thank you for having me on, Colin. We'll talk to you soon.